Hello fellow coffee botherers. In this video I'm going to be talking about the Bravilor espresso bean-to-cup coffee machine. I stumbled upon this machine on the Shop Coffee website not long ago and it stopped me in my tracks. Firstly, because Shop Coffee are a roaster. They usually sell high-end manual espresso machines. They sell the Lamazocco Linea Mini, for example. It was Shop Coffee who loaned me that when I reviewed it. I was surprised to see them offering what appeared to be a domestic bean-to-cup coffee machine. Secondly, because of the way it looks. It doesn't quite look like any bean-to-cup coffee machine I've seen before. And finally, because it's from the company Bravilor Bonamat, a very well-known manufacturer of commercial coffee machines. I didn't know they made home coffee machines. Hello? Yeah, this is Kev. Yeah, Coffee Kev. Oh, right, okay, yeah. Brilliant, thank you. Cheers. Love you. That was Google. They've just told me that only 9.4% of you watching this now are subscribed. So they've asked me to just quickly remind you to slap or tickle that subscribe button below. So I had a word with Shop Coffee. I ended up speaking to some very nice people at Bravilor, which led to this machine being loaned to me for a couple of weeks. And I think it's amazing. It's unlike any other domestic bean-to-cup coffee machine I've ever used. And that's probably because it's not really a domestic bean-to-cup coffee machine as such. This is basically a light-use commercial bean-to-cup coffee machine at a price point that also makes it a good option for home use. It uses the same SPRSO brewer, which is nothing like any brewing unit you'll find in any other home bean-to-cup coffee machine, and more on that in a sec. It's clearly really well built. They're made in the Bravilor Bonamat factory in Poland. It's mainly stainless steel and it's really been built for office kitchens and other businesses like salons, car dealerships, estate agents and so on. It's not made for cafe use, but if you want decent espresso-based coffees at up to maybe 30 coffees per day, I think the Bravilor espresso fills a real gap. There are other really good commercial bean-to-cup coffee machines that I've had decent coffees from, but they're usually aimed at much higher usage than this, so they're normally quite a lot more money and much bigger. This is the first machine I've seen that I think is small enough and affordable enough to be used by these kinds of businesses I've just mentioned and for home use. I've had quite a few emails from people who are looking for a really simple to use bean-to-cup coffee machine for use particularly in hair salons, barbers and similar businesses where some customers might want a coffee and when they do it's just a case of pressing a button. There's really not much to do other than turn it on in the morning and empty the waste bin, and I think this fits the bill really well. It's around 1,400 plus fat and the milk cooler is about 135 plus fat. This makes it cheaper than some domestic bean-to-cup coffee machines and I'm hugely impressed with it for this price point. It seems like a lot more money than it is to me. You don't have to have the milk cooler, you can just put this pipe into your milk bottle, but if you're using it in a business, this means you can just fill the cooler in the morning and then just top it up when it runs out and give it a clean at the end of the day. It has a 2.2 litre water tank, a nice big drip tray, a big dreg drawer which will take 20 used coffees, a maximum auto off of 4 hours, or you can just disable the auto off in the settings, which makes it a particularly good option for this kind of use. I can imagine it being very annoying in a salon, for example, asking a client if they'd like a coffee and then having to wait 10 minutes for the machine to turn on. Drink selection is really easy. There's a nice big screen with images of the drinks, so it makes it very easy to use. So if you want customers to be able to make their own coffees, that wouldn't be a problem. This isn't a machine for people who want to geek out, changing everything to the nth degree. It's really the opposite of that. It's for people who don't want to faff around, who just want plenty of drink options, decent hot coffees with very little to have to play around with. You can adjust the simple things, volumes and strengths, brew temperature and various other things in the settings, but you can't alter the milk textures or milk volumes for each drink, and I think that's perfect for who this machine is made for. At the heart of this machine is the Bravilor Bonamat SPRSO brewer, which is the same brewing unit they put in their much more expensive commercial bean-to-cup coffee machine. It's called the SPRSO presumably because of its circular shape, which is really unusual as bean-to-cup coffee machine brewing units are normally square or rectangular. And now I'm going to do the first thing I've ever done on a YouTube video. No, I'm not going to sing or dance. I'll only do that when the channel hits 50,000 subscribers. Instead, I'm going to show you a bean-to-cup coffee machine brewing unit in action. How cool is that? That little flick at the end to boot out the puck if it's not already fallen out. I love it. Actually, I think they should replace this side panel with glass or perspex so this can be seen all the time. The side panel, by the way, is thick stainless steel, as is most of the machine, and I think that's why it's such a quiet machine. It's all really high quality, nothing feels cheap. Even the water tank is made from really thick Bpa-Free plastic. And it's really clever too, the way they've made the handle part of the design, and they've made it so the back of the machine closes the opening instead of having to have a lid. It has a metal splitter, like a portafilter, and I really like that, not only because of the way it looks, but also because it does a pretty good job of equally splitting if you want to make 2 cups at a time. You can do this for espresso and ristretto, just put 2 cups down and it'll make 2 cups of coffee one after the other if you select the 2 cup option. As well as espresso and ristretto, it'll make Americano, espresso macchiato, flat white, cappuccino, latte macchiato and white coffee. It's rare to see white coffee on a bean-to-cup coffee machine. What white coffee actually means, though, depends on who you ask. If what you mean by white coffee is Americano with a splash of milk, then to do that, just make an Americano and then select hot milk, foam, and stop it when you've got enough milk. The white coffee that this machine makes, for me, is somewhere between a cafe au lait and a latte. It does espresso first for this drink, though, so you can stop the milk early if you want less milk. It also allows you to add up to 3 additional custom coffees as customised versions of the presets, and you choose the cup sizes and intensity when setting up the machine by selecting from one of the 3 volume and strength profiles. But you can easily reset that, and you have the option to change volumes and intensities for each coffee you make. It'll brew using doses of 6 grams to 18 grams depending on the strength selections. The brew nozzle will move up and down to accommodate cups up to about 11 centimetres tall, maybe about 11.5 centimetres at a push. Cleaning is really simple. You just go into maintenance and select whatever cleaning you want to do, and it'll flush the milk system out automatically at each preset interval. It'll take a Brita filter in the water tank. You can plumb it in if preferred, but you'll need a water connection for that, which is about £135. I've used this quite a bit. It's ridiculously straightforward to use. It's quiet, and if you use decent coffee beans, you'll get really good coffee from it. In fact, I don't think I've ever tasted cup quality quite as good as this on other home bean-to-cup coffee machines. Usually bean-to-cup machines don't quite produce true espresso quality, but the espresso from this is really, really good. I honestly think that if you're running a business with a waiting area, the obvious ones being barbers and hair salons, and you use decent beans, not the usual super dark roasted commodity beans, get nice quality freshly roasted coffee from your local roaster or from me at seaworks.co.uk, and people will want to come back because of the coffee. Most salons offer instant or bitter filter coffee that's been sitting on a hot plate, so if you want to stand out for the quality of your coffee and for the smell as people walk through the door, if you have one of these and decent coffee beans, I think it's a great way to be a cut above the rest. Or if you want a bean-to-cup coffee machine at home and you have the budget, but you don't want flashy lights and bells and whistles, but you want to invest in a really well-built machine which is mega simple to use and which will keep kicking out decent cups of coffee at the touch of a button, I think this is difficult to beat for a bean-to-cup coffee machine at this price. So, who wants a coffee?
Me, please.
Come along.
Right.
Help yourself.
So I just press this, don't I?
Yeah, press that to select.
What's the difference between flat white and flat white?
So you can personalise 3 different coffees based on the factory preset coffees, and when I was playing around, I've done a flat white one, which is just a flat white with a slightly different strength.
I'm gonna go for a standard flat white just in case. I know, I was worried it was going to overflow then.
There you go.
Let's sip of this.
Flat white.
What's the selection like on this machine?
Really good. It's really rare to have an espresso macchiato and a white coffee as well. So really impressed with that. I think espresso macchiato is just not very mainstream. It's a little bit more niche in the UK.
And they taste decent, these coffees.
Really good, yeah. For a bean-to-cup coffee machine, it's not usual with a domestic bean-to-cup coffee machine at this kind of cost. You get as close to traditional espresso. Very impressive.
Yeah, this is really nice for like a bean to cup machine. It's really good.
You'd be impressed if you went to get your hair cut and got served one of them, wouldn't you?
Definitely, definitely.
Does it do cups of milk?
It does. So there you go, the espresso from Bravilor Bonamat. Just before you go, can I ask a massive favour? Can you have a look under the video for a sec? If it says subscribe, then I want to thank you for being an official coffee botherer. Happy face. If it says subscribe, then I'll just kindly remind you to click that button to instantly become an official coffee botherer. The goal is to get the channel to 50k subscribers by the end of 2023, and that will only happen if you click that button. So please do that. Thank you very much. And while you're being kind, please click the like button too. Wombat poo is square, and not just in Minecraft, in real life. Google it. This doesn't have anything to do with clicking the like button, but click the like button if square poo freaks you out. If you enjoyed this video, why not click here to watch another one? And don't forget, to become an official coffee botherer, you need to click this image around here somewhere of my face to subscribe. Tatty bye!